Archangel Michael says, "You're meeting your soulmate on Saturday, here's the location, and it's not just a place you'll walk into with your feet, but a sacred moment where your soul will arrive fully open, fully seen, and deeply known, wrapped in the presence of the one who never left you, not even for a breath, not even through your most silent tears." There is something unspeakably beautiful about the way God aligns hearts, not through the noise of the world, but through the quiet miracles He plants deep within us, like seeds of light waiting to bloom in the right season. Often, we spend years thinking we've been wandering aimlessly, searching for something we can't quite name, hoping the ache inside will eventually make sense, wondering if love was ever meant for us. But in truth, every moment was part of a divine path, lit not by answers but by trust, and you were never really lost, only being led gently towards something holy. Type 2323 if you trust in God. This Saturday, something shifts. Not just in the world around you, but in the sky above, and in the stillness within your heart. You won't feel thunder or see lightning crack through the sky, but there will be a knowing, a calm peace, the kind only heaven can give. That's the moment your soulmate steps into your story, not with grand fireworks, but with a kind of familiarity that feels like home, like you've known them forever even though you've just arrived. The location isn't on a map. It's not behind a door with your name on it. It's wherever your heart finally says yes. Yes to the love God has been preparing for you. Yes to the healing you've been walking through, even when it felt like breaking. Yes to the future that once felt far away. It may be in a church courtyard where the sun filters softly through the stained glass windows, painting colors on the stone. It may be near a quiet park bench under the golden leaves of fall, where two souls pause in the stillness of the day and recognize each other. It may be during a moment of worship when you close your eyes and feel a presence next to you that echoes your spirit's prayer. Like this video and subscribe to this channel if you believe God is always with you. God writes love stories differently. They aren't always wrapped in perfection or predictability. Sometimes they begin with heartbreak, and sometimes they are revealed in the waiting. But every true love story authored by God carries with it a gentle strength, not built on what is seen, but what is sacred. And when two souls meet under the covering of grace, they don't just find each other, they find a deeper piece of God within themselves, reflected through the eyes of another who was also walking the same prayerful path. What if 7 minutes could rewrite your financial future forever? This hidden frequency, backed by neuroscience, flips the brain's natural wealth switch, unleashing unstoppable prosperity. People are calling it the money magnet sound, and it's already transforming lives. But hesitation means missing out while others move ahead. This is your moment to act. Click the link in the video description and comments below to awaken the wealth inside you today before the chance slips away. You've been prayed for, maybe by someone you haven't even met yet. Maybe they've spoken your name in the silence of their nights, not knowing who you are but trusting God knows. Maybe you've done the same. Those prayers have never vanished into the air. They've become bridges. They've become anchors. They've become the threads that God used to stitch your hearts together even before your first meeting. And now, the time is drawing near, not just because a day on the calendar says so, but because heaven has decided that your hearts are finally ready to carry each other forward. Not in perfection, but in faith. Not with certainty, but with trust. You will not be alone in this. The same God who carried you through your loneliest nights will be right there, smiling, watching, holding the space where your stories become one. Type 1919 to embrace healing. Let your heart be soft. Let it be expectant. Not just for romance, but for the holy unfolding of something that was always meant to be. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to earn it. You don't even have to prepare beyond simply being present, fully open to whatever form this divine encounter takes. Because when God brings two hearts together, He doesn't need your performance, He just needs your yes. So rest, dear soul. Let hope rise again like the morning sun. Let your spirit breathe easy knowing that love isn't just coming, it's already on its way, guided by a hand that never misses, never forgets, and never fails. This Saturday will be a beginning. Not the kind that demands explanation, but the kind that lets your heart exhale and finally say, "So this is what God was doing all along." Remain until the very last word, for heaven has been waiting to whisper this truth into your soul. And when you feel the stirring in your soul, remember this: it is not random. It is not coincidence. It is heaven touching earth in a single moment of divine alignment, where your path meets theirs, and everything changes, not because you needed someone to save you, but because God delights in giving us reflections of His love through one another. Sometimes the most beautiful things in life arrive not with loud celebration but with a quiet peace that wraps around the heart like a soft blanket, gently reminding you that God's timing is never late and His promises never fall short. Archangel Michael wants you to know that as you move closer to this Saturday, it's not just about meeting someone special, it's about stepping into a moment that heaven has been preparing for years, even before you knew what to pray for. Every season of your life, the laughter, the heartbreak, the waiting, the growing, was part of a sacred process that shaped you for this one coming moment. Nothing was wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single unanswered question. Not a single lonely evening. Because the God who sees your beginning and your end also sees your heart, and He knows when it is ready to receive the kind of love that mirrors His own. This person you are about to meet is not coming to complete you, because God has already made you whole. They are coming to walk with you, to share the journey, to be a reflection of His grace in human form. When your eyes meet, it won't feel like a sudden rush or a movie scene, but something deeper, like finding a long-lost song that your soul already knew by heart. There will be peace, not pressure. Joy, not confusion, clarity, not chaos. God doesn't create rushed moments. He designs encounters with purpose. And this meeting, is stitched together with kindness, trust, and quiet strength. It may happen in a place that seems ordinary to the world. A small cafe where the hum of life buzzes softly in the background. A quiet corner of a bookstore where your fingers reach for the same title. A moment after church service when time feels like it slows down just enough for your spirit to notice theirs. There will be no thunderclap. No flash of a perfect sign. Just a knowing. A softness in your chest. A spark of familiarity. A sense of home. The world often teaches us to search frantically for love, to chase it as if it's a prize to be won, to shape ourselves into what we think will be most lovable. But God teaches us to rest in Him, to trust that what is meant will arrive in His time, without striving, without fear. And when it does, it will feel like a blessing, not a burden. Type 222 if you know God is with you. Archangel Michael whispers to your spirit now, let go of the fear that you'll miss it, or that it won't happen for you. What God has set in motion cannot be stopped by doubt, delay, or even your past. He is the Redeemer of all things, even time. And this coming Saturday, He is opening a new chapter, not just in your life, but in your heart. You may be nervous. That's okay. You may have doubts. That's human. But beneath all of that, let there be a quiet courage, rooted in faith, that rises like morning light. Let it remind you that this meeting is not a coincidence. It is not luck. It is love that was written into your story by the same hand that wrote the stars into the sky. You have walked through shadows, yes. But now you are walking into light. And the person you're about to meet, they've been walking too. Through their own valleys. Through their own prayers. Through their own seasons of wondering if love was real. They've been becoming ready for you just as much as you've been becoming ready for them. So walk into this weekend with open eyes, but more importantly, an open heart. Don't worry about what you'll say or what you'll wear or how it will happen. Just be present. Just be yourself. That is enough. That has always been enough. What if 7 minutes of sound could end years of financial struggle and replace it with freedom, prosperity, and peace? This ancient frequency, once locked away in secret government research, is now changing lives everywhere. Imagine bills erased, doors opening, and sudden windfalls flowing into your hands. But every delay is wealth lost forever. Click the link in the video description and comments below to switch on your money wave, and claim abundance today. God never brings two hearts together without a purpose. It may begin slowly. It may start as a quiet conversation or a warm smile. But it will grow. Not through force, but through grace. Not through pressure, but through patience. And when you least expect it, you will look back and see how everything that once broke you actually led you here, to a moment where love no longer has to be chased, because it has finally found you. There are moments in life that feel ordinary on the surface, but in truth, they carry the fingerprints of God, gently woven into every detail, quietly preparing us for something greater than we could ever imagine. Archangel Michael wants you to hold this truth close to your heart, that this Saturday is not just another day, but a sacred space in time where something divine will unfold, slow and tender, like a sunrise after a long night. As you move through the days leading to this meeting, it's important to remember that your heart is not fragile. It's strong because it has been held by God through every storm, every season of waiting, and every silent prayer you whispered when no one else was listening. The soul that is meant to meet yours is not coming to fix you, or to save you, but to walk beside you as a witness to the light that God has placed within you. That light is what has guided you through the hardest parts of your journey, and it is what will draw them to you. Not your perfection, not your achievements, but the quiet beauty of your faith. In the stillness of that coming day, whether you're standing near a flower stall on a quiet street or walking past a familiar place that suddenly feels new, you will feel it. Not a dramatic change in the air, but a calm that settles over you, as if your spirit is sighing in relief. That's the moment God prepared. That's the place He chose. And in that sacred hour, the heart He's been guiding toward yours will arrive, not late, not early, but right on time. Type 1515 to receive peace in your soul. They may not say anything profound at first. Maybe it's a simple hello, a kind smile, a shared laugh over something small. But your spirit will know. There will be a recognition that runs deeper than anything spoken. It will feel like grace. Like coming home after a long journey. Like finding your way without needing directions. You will see in their eyes the same quiet hope you've been carrying in your own heart, and suddenly, all those years of wondering will give way to peace. God's love doesn't always arrive with grand gestures. Sometimes it comes in the form of someone who sees you, truly sees you, without needing you to explain all the pieces of your story. This is the kind of love God offers through the people He brings into our lives, not love that demands or takes, but love that gives, that nurtures, that stays. And when you meet your soulmate on Saturday, you will begin to understand that this is not just the start of a relationship, it's the beginning of a promise being fulfilled. Archangel Michael wants you to stay close to God during this time, not in fear or in effort, but in rest. Trust Him like a child trusts the warmth of a blanket on a cold night. Let Him be the one who prepares your heart, who calms your thoughts, who reminds you that you don't need to strive to be worthy of this love. You already are. Not because of what you've done, but because of who you are, God's beloved, created in love, carried in mercy, destined for grace. It's okay if your heart still carries wounds. God doesn't wait for you to be spotless before He blesses you. He often chooses to move when you're still healing because His love is what heals. And the one He brings into your life won't be scared of your scars, they'll honor them. They'll understand that your broken pieces are part of your strength. They'll hold space for you in ways that feel safe, holy, and full of compassion. Let yourself be open to this. Don't push it away because you're afraid it's too good to be true. Don't close the door because of what others have done in the past. This is not a repeat of an old story. This is a new page, written by a hand that only writes in truth and love. So breathe deeply, and walk forward with peace. This coming Saturday is wrapped in divine intention, a holy appointment you don't have to schedule, only receive. And when it happens, it will be simple and sacred, not because of anything you did, but because God delights in surprising His children with goodness when they least expect it. Sometimes, before God places something beautiful in our hands, He softens our hearts so we can hold it gently, without fear, without doubt, and without the need to understand every step ahead. Archangel Michael wants you to hear this. The love that is coming into your life this Saturday has already been wrapped in prayer, shaped in grace, and protected by God's hand. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to earn it. You simply have to receive it with an open heart. All your life, even through seasons where it felt like no one truly saw you, heaven saw every moment. God has been walking beside you quietly, patiently, tenderly, through the lonely nights and the long days when it felt like your prayers had fallen into silence. But nothing was ever lost. Every hope you held on to, every tear you wiped away in private, and every time you chose to keep believing even when you didn't feel strong, God gathered it all. Not one second of your journey was unnoticed. Type 1616 if you surrender to God's will. Now the time has come. Slowly, gently, like the first light of dawn warming the edge of a cold sky, you are stepping into something new. You are not stepping into it empty. You are bringing with you all the faith you've grown, the strength you've earned, and the softness that has remained in your heart despite all that tried to harden it. These things make you ready, not perfect, but prepared. And God, in His endless kindness, has made sure that the soul He's guiding to meet you has been walking their own journey of preparation too. This soulmate of yours has also been learning how to love deeply, how to forgive, how to trust again after pain. They have whispered your name in their spirit, even if they didn't know it yet. They have carried a space in their heart for you, guarded by hope, waiting for the right time. And now, that time has come. The location won't be the loud kind of place the world imagines when it thinks of romance. It may be a quiet corner of your daily routine. A coffee shop you visit without thinking. A garden path you walk while reflecting. It might be a quiet gathering or a moment after a shared act of kindness. But in that space, something sacred will stir. You may not notice it with your eyes first. It might begin as a calmness in your chest. A peaceful pull. A warmth you can't explain. And when your eyes finally meet, it will not feel like a beginning, it will feel like a remembering. That is the wonder of soul connections ordained by God. They don't rush in or push forward. They settle beside you, calmly, like a gentle presence you've been waiting for all your life. And even if you speak only a few words that day, your spirits will speak much more. They will begin a conversation that heaven has been preparing for years. The truth is simple: you were created for abundance, yet a dormant brain signal has been holding you back. Scientists call it the money-attracting frequency, and once awakened, it pulls wealth into your life like never before. Others who pressed play once are already transformed, living the life they dreamed of. Do not hesitate or let regret steal this chance. Click the link in the video description and comments below to unlock your prosperity now. Let yourself feel everything in that moment. Don't hide your joy. Don't guard your heart in fear. The time for hiding is over. The time for protecting yourself from what hurt you is slowly fading, because now you are being offered something new. Not a perfect love, but a real one. A love that reflects Christ, not because it's flawless, but because it's rooted in patience, in gentleness, in truth, and in grace. Archangel Michael reminds you to walk into this meeting not with expectations, but with wonder. Don't let past experiences cloud what God is doing now. This is not a repetition. This is redemption. This is where broken pieces find new life. This is where what once felt distant becomes close. This is where you stop searching, not because you've given up, but because you've finally arrived. God writes the kind of love stories that are built to last. Not because they're easy, but because they are built on the solid ground of His presence. And when you step into this next chapter, know that you are not stepping into it alone. The Holy Spirit walks with you. Angels surround you. Grace goes before you. And love, the kind you've been quietly waiting for, is coming to meet you with open hands and a heart full of faith. This Saturday, do not rush. Do not overthink. Just breathe and let peace carry you. Let joy sneak up on you. Let love find you where you are, just as you are. Because that's exactly where God wants to meet you, with a gift that could only have come from heaven. And when you receive it, you'll feel it in your spirit before your mind can fully understand. That's when you'll know, this is what you were waiting for. This is what God was shaping all along. Type 2020 to claim joy and strength. There's a quiet unfolding in your life right now, one that can't be explained by logic or rushed by time. It is the gentle blooming of something sacred, something wrapped in God's timing, His protection, and His love. Archangel Michael says the path you've been walking has not been empty, it has been a hallway leading to a door that heaven itself is about to open. That door opens this Saturday, and behind it stands the one your soul has been prepared to recognize. All the waiting, the wondering, the letting go, the trusting, it wasn't just for growth, it was for alignment. It was to make sure that your heart and theirs would meet in a moment where both could see each other clearly, not through the lens of past pain, but through the eyes of grace. You are not walking into a random meeting. You are walking into a sacred appointment, set by God long before you even knew what you were hoping for. The beauty of this moment is not just about love shared between two people. It is about the presence of God that surrounds it. When He brings two souls together, it's not just a relationship, it becomes a testimony. A reflection of how He loves His children. A small, tender glimpse of heaven on earth. This is what your heart has been reaching for, even in moments when you couldn't find the words to pray. And now, that yearning is being answered in a way that goes deeper than you imagined. You may find yourself returning to a familiar place, not realizing that God has made it sacred ground. It could be a small market filled with colors and laughter. It might be a quiet chapel with candles flickering in the still air. It may be the steps of a community center where people gather to give, serve, or simply be. Wherever it is, you won't recognize it by sight alone, you'll recognize it by the peace that fills your spirit the moment you arrive. And when you see them, your soulmate, the one heaven is gently guiding toward you, there will be a stillness. Not the kind that leaves you frozen, but the kind that settles deep in your heart, like the feeling of being safe, being known, being home. It might feel like you've met before, or as if time slows just long enough for your soul to say, it's you. Type Amen if you believe in God's power, and share this video with 9 people to invite peace, blessings, and miracles today. This connection will not ask you to shrink. It will not ask you to pretend. It will not come with confusion or fear. It will feel like sunlight after years of winter. It will feel like the kind of love that doesn't need to be loud to be real. And it will unfold slowly, the way God often does His most beautiful work, not all at once, but layer by layer, moment by moment, heart to heart. Archangel Michael wants you to be gentle with yourself in these days leading up to it. There is no need to strive, to figure out every detail, or to question whether you're ready. If God says it's time, then it's time. He has already prepared you. The same hands that shaped the stars have shaped your journey. And what He joins together, no doubt, no fear, no past can tear apart. Type 111 if you believe miracles are near. You may feel waves of emotion this week, anticipation, joy, maybe even hesitation. Let it all come. Let it pass through you like wind through open windows. Just don't close yourself off. Don't turn away from the possibility of something holy being born in the ordinary. Stay open. Stay rooted. Stay tender. Because this is not just a love story. This is a healing. This is a soft, steady answer to every time you whispered, "God, I trust you." This is Him saying, "I heard you. I see you. I have not forgotten you." And when you finally speak to this person, when your voices meet, and you both feel that calm recognition, know this: it is not an accident. It is not chance. It is the fruit of faith. It is the reward of obedience. It is the fulfillment of a promise whispered from heaven to your heart. This love will not fix your life, but it will enrich it. It will not take away every pain, but it will give you someone to walk through the healing with. And above all, it will point you both back to the one who brought you together, not because you needed each other to be whole, but because God wanted to bless you with someone who would love you the way He does, patiently, faithfully, and with joy. There is a calm building around you, like the air just before dawn, quiet but full of promise. Archangel Michael gently reminds you that what's coming this Saturday is not just a meeting, it's a holy encounter. One that carries the weight of God's gentleness, the warmth of His love, and the quiet echo of His promise kept. You have waited, maybe longer than you thought you could, and now something beautiful is about to step into your life with soft footsteps and a heart that mirrors your own. This is not a fairy tale, nor is it a dream to chase. It is real, sacred, and timed perfectly by the one who knows every beat of your heart. There were seasons where it felt like you were walking in circles, trying to understand the purpose behind all the waiting. But now, with each passing day, something deeper is settling inside you, a steady knowing that God never makes mistakes, and He never lets what is meant for you slip away. The love that is coming has been prayed into existence. Not just by you, but by others who have carried you in their hearts without even knowing your name. The person you are about to meet has walked through their own valleys, just like you have. They have known longing. They have known silence. And they have learned, as you have, that love shaped by God is never about perfection, it's about grace meeting grace. There is a sweetness in that kind of connection. It doesn't ask you to hide your scars. It doesn't expect you to carry more than your share. Instead, it shows up gently, stands beside you, and says, "I see you, and I'm staying." And the peace that washes over you in that moment will be undeniable, not loud or dramatic, but quiet and deep, like a soul recognizing its echo. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. The place where this happens may not look special at first glance. It could be a pathway in a park, where autumn leaves gather at your feet. It could be outside a church just as the last hymn fades into the afternoon air. Or maybe it's simply a moment in the middle of an ordinary day that suddenly feels sacred. You will know it, not because the world stops, but because something in you does. And in that stillness, God will speak, not in words, but in peace. Type Amen to trust God's plan for your life. Let go of the pressure to predict or prepare. This isn't about performance. It's about presence. God is not looking for you to be anything more than who He already made you to be. You are enough. The love that's coming isn't asking you to be stronger, funnier, more confident, or more polished. It's asking you to be open, to be kind, to let your guard rest. That is where true connection begins, not behind walls, but in the quiet bravery of being known. Archangel Michael encourages you now to protect your peace, to nourish your spirit, and to walk slowly through the next few days with intention. This is a time of preparation, not in tasks, but in trust. A time to realign your heart with the one who never stopped writing your story, even when you thought the pages had gone blank. Every step you take now is leading you closer to something good, something filled with the kind of joy that doesn't fade when things get hard, because it's rooted in something deeper than feelings. There may be a soft nervousness in your chest, and that's okay. That only means your heart is awake, alert, and hopeful. Don't let fear convince you that you're not ready. You are. Not because you've figured everything out, but because you've learned how to surrender it to God. And that surrender is what makes you ready to receive a love that is pure, patient, and full of peace. This Saturday is not just about meeting someone. It's about meeting the next part of God's plan for you. And no matter how the day unfolds, whether it begins with quiet or conversation, whether it looks ordinary or entirely unexpected, it will be wrapped in grace. You'll feel it. Not as a loud announcement, but as a quiet unfolding. Like petals blooming in the warmth of spring after the long cold of winter. So breathe in the peace that's being offered to you now. Let yourself believe that God really is this kind, this thoughtful, this near. The promise that's been hidden in your heart is no longer far off. It's just around the corner, waiting for your feet to arrive and your heart to be still enough to notice. Some blessings arrive softly, like the hush of early morning before the world fully wakes. They don't make a grand entrance. They don't demand attention. Instead, they gently slip into your life, exactly when your heart is finally ready to receive them. Archangel Michael wants you to know that this Saturday is one of those sacred blessings. You won't need to force anything, search for signs, or figure out how it's all supposed to unfold. You only need to be present, with your eyes open, your heart steady, and your spirit grounded in God's peace. For so long, you've carried dreams of love in your heart, quietly holding space for someone who would see you, not just on the outside, but deeply, spiritually, in the way only God can reveal. You've hoped. You've trusted. Even when disappointment tried to harden you, you chose to stay soft. That choice matters. That faith has never gone unnoticed. And now, the love that is finally approaching isn't just an answer to your prayers, it's an answer to the quiet perseverance you've lived out every day. Type 3030 if you believe Jesus lives in your heart. This person you're about to meet won't fill all the empty spaces within you. Only God can do that. But they will stand beside you as you both keep seeking Him, day by day, in faith and in love. What makes this connection holy is not perfection, not a flawless story, but the way God's hand is in it from the beginning. This is the kind of meeting that starts a journey, a shared walk where your strengths, your stories, and your spirits begin to move in the same direction. You may cross paths somewhere that seems completely unplanned. Maybe you stop somewhere you didn't mean to. Maybe your routine shifts ever so slightly, and without knowing why, you end up somewhere new. That's how divine moments often happen, not where you expect them, but where God has quietly prepared the ground. In a hallway, a church doorway, a quiet sidewalk, or even a place that once felt lonely. He redeems spaces too, just like He redeems time. There is no need for rehearsed words or anxious thoughts. You won't need to present a perfect version of yourself. The soul that meets yours will see you through spiritual eyes. They will not be searching for what the world values, they will be listening with their heart, guided by the same quiet faith that brought you here. And when your eyes meet, there will be no rush, no demand, only a sense of peace that gently fills the space between you. This love will feel kind. It will feel slow in the most beautiful way. Not slow as in uncertain, but slow as in patient. As in present. As in a steady unfolding, like leaves uncurling in springtime, knowing they are safe in the sun. You won't need to prove your worth to be loved. You won't need to hide your tenderness to be understood. The person God is sending your way has been prepared to love you, not despite your journey, but because of it. Archangel Michael encourages you to protect your heart in the days leading up to this moment, not by building walls, but by tending gently to your peace. Keep yourself close to God. Spend time in quiet reflection. Let His voice be louder than your worries. Let His promises fill the space where fear used to live. Because you are not entering into this moment alone. You are surrounded by divine presence, by angels who have seen your tears and now rejoice in what is coming. There's something sacred about love that begins in God's timing. It carries a softness that the world can't imitate. It holds the kind of trust that doesn't need constant reassurance. It is steady. It is safe. And above all, it is rooted in something deeper than emotion, it is rooted in a promise. One that was made before either of you knew how it would unfold, but one that never wavered, not even once. So walk into this Saturday not with nervousness, but with quiet expectation. God is already there. He has already written the moment. And when you step into it, when you finally stand face to face with the person who has quietly been walking toward you all this time, you will feel it, not just in your mind, but in your soul. You will feel the peace of being seen. The joy of being met. The warmth of being loved in a way that reflects heaven's heart. There is a softness beginning to settle over you now, like a quiet knowing rising from deep within your spirit. It doesn't come with loud signs or sudden realizations, but with a gentle peace that wraps around your heart and whispers, "You're almost there." Archangel Michael wants you to lean into that peace, to let it guide you into the days ahead, especially as Saturday draws near. What you are about to walk into is not simply a moment of chance, it is a holy intersection, a meeting written into your story by the one who formed your soul with love. Type "I believe" if you believe miracles are on the way. You have spent much of your life growing through spaces that were not always kind, learning how to love in a world that sometimes made you question your worth. Yet through every season, you chose to keep your heart open, even when it would have been easier to close it. You chose to believe in something more, in something deeper than the temporary promises the world offers. That kind of hope does not go unnoticed in heaven. That kind of faith becomes the soil in which God plants His most sacred blessings. The struggles you faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. The love that is approaching is not just about finding someone to share your life with. It is about stepping into a chapter where your heart is no longer waiting for permission to feel joy. It is about experiencing what it means to be loved without condition, to be seen without judgment, to be embraced not for who you might become, but for who you already are. That kind of love can only be crafted by God Himself, and that is what He's bringing to you now. This person, your soulmate, has also been walking a long path toward this moment. They have known seasons of silence. They have wondered if love was meant for them. They have prayed, even in moments when they didn't have the words. And just like you, they have kept going, holding on to the quiet belief that God would not forget their heart. And now, the same divine hand that has held you both through your separate journeys is guiding you toward each other. You may meet them somewhere unexpected. Maybe in a quiet pause between tasks. Maybe while you're doing something ordinary, running an errand, helping someone, or simply enjoying a moment of stillness. The place itself won't feel magical, but the presence will. You'll feel it in your chest before your mind understands what's happening. A calm, a familiarity, a warmth that says, "This is good. This is safe. This is real." You won't need to impress them. You won't need to explain every corner of your heart. You'll simply feel seen. Not in a way that puts you on display, but in a way that makes you feel understood. This love won't ask you to abandon your past, but it will gently hold space for your healing. It will move slowly, tenderly, like a breeze through tall grass, steady, kind, and full of grace. Archangel Michael gently asks you to stay open to this. Let your soul believe that love like this still exists, because it does. Let yourself trust that God's timing is not delayed, not uncertain, but intentional. Every pause had a purpose. Every detour was a redirection. Every delay was protection. You didn't miss it. You didn't mess it up. You're right on time, and so are they. In these final days before your paths meet, spend time with God. Not in worry, not in endless wondering, but in quiet gratitude. Thank Him for the way He's held your heart. Thank Him for the love that is on its way. Thank Him for the unseen moments when He guided your feet even when you didn't know where you were going. Because now, you're almost there. The meeting will be simple. The moment will feel quiet. But something inside you will shift, and you'll carry that feeling with you long after. Because when love comes from God, it carries peace with it. Not confusion. Not fear. Only peace. When God is preparing something deeply meaningful, He often moves in ways that feel quiet, hidden, even uncertain. But make no mistake, He is always working. Always weaving. Always aligning hearts and lives with a love that can't be rushed or faked. Archangel Michael wants you to hold this truth close as Saturday draws nearer. You are not walking into this moment by chance. You are walking into a space that has been shaped by God's own hand, a place where something sacred is finally ready to be revealed. Type 222 if you trust that God is with you always. There's a kind of love that doesn't just touch the surface. It moves through the spirit, it speaks to your soul, and it gently lifts the parts of you that forgot what it feels like to be seen without needing to perform. That's the kind of love approaching you now. It's not loud. It doesn't come wrapped in drama or demand. It comes with peace. With calm. With a sense of arrival that lets your heart finally breathe in a way it hasn't for a long time. The meeting may feel simple at first. Maybe even quiet. You might brush shoulders in passing, or exchange a smile across a room. There might not be fireworks. But there will be something even stronger, a gentle pull, an awareness, a softness in your spirit that lets you know this moment matters. That you've just encountered someone whose soul has been walking beside yours long before your eyes ever met. They won't be perfect. You won't be either. But the beauty is that neither of you will be looking for perfection. You'll both be looking for truth, for faith, for the quiet assurance that you're being drawn together by something greater than words. And in that shared space of understanding, a new story will begin, one not born out of need, but out of purpose. God didn't bring you this far just to leave you wondering. He has been planting signs along the way, not loud ones, but small confirmations that your heart has learned how to notice. Maybe it's a phrase that keeps coming back to you. Maybe it's a quiet dream. Maybe it's the way peace settles over you each time you let yourself hope again. All of these are whispers from heaven saying, keep going. You're almost there. Archangel Michael encourages you to trust the nudges. Trust the stillness. Trust the way your soul feels drawn, even when your mind wants to understand everything first. You're not walking toward uncertainty. You're walking toward clarity, toward something God has already prepared, down to the smallest detail. And when you meet this person, you will feel safe. Not because they've done anything grand, but because your spirit will rest in their presence. That's how God-woven love works. It quiets the noise. It doesn't rush. It holds space. It brings out the best in you because it's rooted in grace, not pressure. You won't have to perform, pretend, or push. You'll just need to be fully present, exactly as you are. This isn't a reward for perfection. This is the fruit of your faith. The fruit of every time you chose to trust God even when you didn't understand. Of every time you kept your heart open, even when it hurt. You didn't get here by accident. You were guided here, lovingly, patiently, purposefully. So let this Saturday come without fear. Let it be what it's meant to be, not what you think it should be. Don't try to control it, just receive it. Let love surprise you. Let it be softer than expected. Let it unfold slowly, in kindness, in peace, and in God's time. Because when it happens, you'll know. Not because everything makes sense in an instant, but because something in your heart will settle and say, "This is right." You won't need to force it. You won't need to chase it. You'll just need to say yes. Type 333 to welcome peace into your heart. There's something holy about quiet hope, the kind that stays, even after long seasons of waiting, even after disappointment tries to take root. It's not loud, but it's strong. It holds on gently, choosing to believe that God is still writing something beautiful, even when the page looks blank. Archangel Michael says this Saturday, that quiet hope is about to be met with something real. Something that has been carefully prepared, not rushed, not forced, but formed in the stillness of God's perfect time. You are not just meeting a person. You are walking into a promise. A quiet one, yes, but one that carries heaven's weight. This isn't just about finding someone to walk beside. It's about seeing how deeply God knows your heart and how beautifully He cares for it. Every tear you've cried in secret, every moment of loneliness, every prayer whispered when you weren't even sure what to say, none of it was missed. And now, the love that God has shaped for you is drawing near, not as a rescue, but as a reflection of the care He's had for you all along. This love won't enter your life with noise or drama. It will come gently, like the turning of a season. It will bring peace, not pressure. It won't ask you to hide who you are. It will meet you right where you are, look at the whole of you, and say, "I see you. And I'm here." That kind of love comes only from God's hand. And it's not arriving late. It's arriving right on time. You may meet in the middle of an ordinary day, in a space you pass through often. A sidewalk bathed in afternoon light. A quiet aisle in a store. A moment of shared kindness between strangers. The moment itself may not feel big, but what happens inside your spirit will. You'll feel calm. You'll feel still. And something inside you will know, this matters. They may not say something poetic. They may not look like the picture you once had in your mind. But they will carry something deeper, a softness in the way they speak, a kindness in the way they notice you, a presence that feels like safety. And when your eyes meet, it won't feel like a spark. It'll feel like rest. Amen.